Pack your things and get out. This is our new family's home now." Jenna stood in the doorway with her arms folded, Evan at her shoulder, the Whitakers behind them, and my parents bringing up the rear. Their faces carried the same chill. 6 months ago, Jenna and Evan moved in to save for a deposit. A month later, the Whitakers announced they'd sold their house and took the granny flat where my grandmother used to hum over cards. Since then, the place forgot me. Evan colonized the sofa with sports at full blast. In the kitchen, Jenna would click her tongue. I was about to make a smoothie for Evan. Mrs. Whitaker liked to ask, "In a hurry, Mara?" whenever I queued for the bathroom. My parents didn't defend me. They never had. Jenna was the sparkler. I was the steady hand expected to hold the match. Dad now golfed with Mr. Whitaker, and Mum shopped with Jenna, leaving me out of pictures and plans. I learned to make myself small and listen. So when Jenna delivered her ultimatum, my heart went quiet. "Fine," I said. "I'll start packing." It startled them, how easily I agreed. They didn't know what I had arranged. I folded my life into boxes while Jenna and Evan measured my walls, laughing about a king bed and a vanity. Friday night, they threw a little send-off without naming it. Flutes clinked downstairs, music fizzed. My parents smiled for selfies. From the stairs, I memorized the tableau, my family framed without me, then returned to my room. I texted a single contact. "Everything is prepared. Please proceed tomorrow at 10 a.m. The reply arrived at once. "Understood, Miss Hale." Morning found them with coffee and smug smiles. I came down with my keys on a ribbon and a calm I could taste like mint. "Before I go," I said, "there's something you should hear." Groans, eye rolls. "If you want money, forget it," Mrs. Whitaker snapped. "It's not about money," I said as the bell rang. I opened the door to Mr. Carver, pressed suit, a briefcase that clicked like a metronome. "Good morning, Miss Hale," he said, then faced the room. "I'm counsel for Miss Mara Hale regarding this property." Counsel iced the air. Jenna laughed too brightly. "Mum and Dad own this house." Mr. Carver set documents on the coffee table. They did until 3 months ago. The lender foreclosed for non-payment. The bank auctioned the property. It sold properly and publicly. He glanced at me. I nodded. To me. Faces emptied like a door slammed by wind. Dad's mouth worked. Mum studied the floorboards. Evan muttered, "No way." The Whitakers went stone quiet. "I bought it," I said. "Not to punish you. To keep a stranger from owning the place Gran planted roses." Jenna jabbed a finger at the papers. "You can't afford this." Mr. Carver slid another stack. Deed, transfer, proof of funds. She could, she did. Silence thickened. "Here are your choices," I said, steady. "Option 1, sign a lease at fair market rent. Utilities are yours. No alterations without permission. Option 2, vacate in 2 weeks. I'll pursue eviction if you refuse." Evan's bravado folded. Then Dad's shoulders fell. Pens hovered, then scratched. One by one, signatures bloomed like bruises. I set a house key on the table. "I won't be living here." I moved into a quiet flat 30 minutes away and handed the house to a manager. My days unknotted. Mornings were coffee and spreadsheets, evenings windows open to buses and rain. I bought a second duplex, then a third place by the river. The roses at Gran's fence kept blooming under hired care, and the rent arrived, punctual. 6 months on, Dad emailed, "Could you come home to talk?" I went Sunday, wary. Everyone was waiting in the lounge. Dad rose first. "I'm sorry," he said, voice frayed. "Working double shifts taught me how soft I'd become." Mum's apology followed, quiet and shaking. Even the Whitakers bowed. Jenna's mascara had smudged. "I was cruel," she said. "I thought love meant being centered. It doesn't." No one asked for money. They asked for grace. I thought of the girl I'd been, shrinking in doorways, of measuring tapes and champagne toasts that erased me from my own frame. I breathed in. Out. "I can't forget," I said. "But I can recognize the change." We walked the garden. The rosemary was woody. The gate squeaked. Evan cleared his throat. "We've been cooking dinners," he said. "On Sundays. If you ever—" He trailed off. "Sundays," I said. I can do some Sundays. We agreed to boundaries that hold like good fences. Repairs through the manager, rent on time, no power plays. In return, I'd show up as a daughter, not a doormat and not a savior. As I left, Jenna pressed a packet into my hand. Gran's recipe for rosehip jam, copied in her script. For home, she said. Home wasn't an address. It was a line I'd drawn, a promise kept. And still, beneath the drawing, the house stood there, finally teaching us how to stand with it.